Hello everyone, welcome to the AWS Community Day. In this presentation, we will be talking about AWS Transit Gateway. My name is Nitin Ashok. I am a technical account manager from AWS based out of New York, and I will be co-presenting this with Rodrigo Balan, who is a technical account manager from AWS based out of California. This will be a 200 level presentation covering the key benefits and best practices for Transit Gateway. The agenda for today's talk, we will cover what is Transit Gateway, what problems it solves for our customers, the key features and benefits of using Transit Gateway, some of the common use cases, a brief introduction to Transit Gateway Network Manager, and to close out the session, we'll discuss some of the best practices for using Transit Gateway. Let's get started. First, let's talk about the motivation for AWS Transit Gateway, what problems it solves for our customers. From an AWS networking standpoint, customers are looking for a robust networking solution that will interconnect VPCs and on-premise networks at scale and across regions while simplifying configuration and management. And what are the challenges they are facing when trying to implement such a solution? First, point-to-point peering connections does not scale well and it's complex to manage as the number of connections increases. So customers are looking for an easier way to maintain these connections. Second, as the number of VPCs and on-premise connections increases, it becomes harder for both management and monitoring of routing. So customers are looking for a centralized place to manage routing between VPCs and between on-premise and VPCs as well. And last, customers are looking for more bandwidth for their VPCs. Now let's try to visualize these challenges from an architecture standpoint. So customers configure their VPCs in the AWS environment, and before Transit Gateway, if these VPCs need to talk to each other, customers would configure VPC peering. And with VPC peering, we know that it does not support transitive routing. So in order for all the VPCs to be able to communicate with each other, you would have to configure a full mesh connectivity. So as you see, as the number of VPCs increases, it becomes complex to configure and manage these VPC peering connections. Now, if we talk about edge connectivity, connectivity between AWS and on-premise infrastructure, and if we take the example of site-to-site VPN, if one of the VPCs need to talk back to on-prem network over a site-to-site VPN, you would create a customer gateway, then you would configure a VPN connection between the customer gateway and the virtual private gateway that is attached to that VPC. And you would have to do the same process for each of the VPC that you need to connect with on-premise network over the site-to-site VPN. Similarly, for Direct Connect, you create a private virtual interface for each of the VPC virtual private gateway that you need to connect back to on-prem. So as you see, as the number of connections increases, it becomes very complex and configured to manage. In order to address these challenges, AWS offered a networking construct or a solution called as Transit VPC in 2016. Basically, Transit VPC was introduced to manage growing AWS environments, and Transit VPC served as a central hub for VPC peering connections as well as connections between VPCs and on-premise locations. But while Transit VPC helped centralize network connectivity, one of the major drawbacks was customers would still need to manually configure and maintain third-party routers within the Transit VPCs. So as the number of connections scaled out, it became operationally complex to configure and manage these Transit VPCs. So this was not a seamless solution from an operational standpoint. So in order to address these challenges, AWS introduced Transit Gateway in 2018. So Transit Gateway is nothing but a centralized network hub that you can use to interconnect your VPCs and on-premise networks at scale. Let's take a look at how, with the introduction of Transit Gateway, it simplifies the networking architecture significantly. So customers configure VPCs in their AWS environment, and with the introduction of AWS Transit Gateway, if these VPCs need to talk to each other, then you would configure or attach these VPCs to the Transit Gateway. Similarly, if you have connectivity back to on-prem, either through VPN or Direct Connect, you would attach them to the same Transit Gateway in a region. And if you see, the Transit Gateway becomes a network hub for all these connections. So the best way to think about a Transit Gateway is as a distributed managed router that is deployed in a AWS region and that allows you to interconnect VPCs in that region and also consolidate connectivity back to on-prem. The key thing to note here is AWS Transit Gateway is a regional construct. So now that we have seen what a transit gateway is and what problems it can solve for our customers, let us take a look at some of the key features and benefits of using Transit Gateway. Let's discuss the key features first. From a routing perspective, we have learned that Transit Gateway acts as a router that connects all your VPCs, direct connect, and site-to-site VPN connections. So routing becomes easier to manage and configure. But the key feature here is this can be scaled to support thousands of VPCs across multiple accounts. The next key feature is with respect to IPsec VPN. So Transit Gateway enables you to scale the IPsec VPN throughput with equal cost multipath routing or ECMP support over multiple VPN tunnels. Basically, a single VPN tunnel still has a max throughput of 1.25 gigabits per second. But if you establish multiple VPN tunnels to an ECMP enabled transit gateway, it can scale beyond the default limit of 1.25 gigabits per second, thereby increasing the aggregate bandwidth between on-premise and AWS. The other key feature from a routing perspective is customers can also segment and isolate network traffic by creating multiple route tables within Transit Gateway. And this route table includes dynamic routes, static routes, and black hole routes. And the IP packets are sent to a specific next hop attachment based on destination IP address. So each routing table corresponds to a routing domain that can direct traffic to specific VPCs or on-premise locations based on business needs. So since Transit Gateway can support multiple route tables in a region, a network admin can actually control routing on a per attachment basis. So moving along, the next key feature is with multicast support. So Transit Gateway supports multicast traffic between subnets of attached VPCs and serves as a multicast router for instances sending traffic destined to multiple receiving instances. So with Transit Gateway Multicast, you can easily create and manage multicast groups. And this becomes very useful for applications such as video or stock taker information, eliminating the need for deploying multiple high bandwidth unicast connections to each client while reducing network congestion and costs. But the key thing to note here is currently multicast routing is not supported over an AWS Direct Connect, site-to-site VPN, and Transit Gateway peering attachments. The next key feature that we want to highlight here is from a global connectivity perspective. So transit gateways can be peered across the regions, allowing customers to route traffic across AWS regions using the AWS Global Network Backbone. And it provides a simple and cost-effective way to share resources between AWS regions. So what this means is that all Amazon VPCs, site-to-site VPN connections, and direct connect gateways attached to an AWS Transit gateway hosted in one AWS region can exchange traffic with resources deployed in other AWS regions. And the key thing to note with the inter-region peering support is the inter-region peering connections encrypt traffic by default, and the traffic is routed exclusively on the AWS global network backbone. The last key feature that I want to highlight here is from a monitoring and manageability perspective. So AWS Transit Gateway provides metrics and logs through CloudWatch and VPC flow logs. And you can also use AWS CloudTrail to capture detailed information about the calls made to the Transit Gateway API. Also, with the use of AWS Transit Gateway Network Manager, you can get events and metrics to monitor your global network both in AWS and on-premise as well. So these are some of the key features of Transit Gateway. Now let's summarize some of the key benefits of using Transit Gateway. First, as we discussed, simplified networking. So the key thing to note here is Transit Gateway can be used to interconnect thousands of VPCs spread across multiple accounts. And it also helps in consolidating your on-prem connections. And it either reduces or eliminates the need for peer-to-peer networking. And as discussed with IPsec VPN, since it supports ECMP routing, you get more aggregate bandwidth between your on-premise and AWS VPCs. The next is from a global connectivity perspective, it supports inter-region peering, and the peering uses the same network infrastructure as VPC peering, and so the traffic is encrypted. Also, it exclusively uses the AWS global network backbone for this connectivity. The other key thing to note, as I mentioned before, Transit Gateway is a regional construct, and hence it also reduces the blast radius. When we think about global connectivity. The last key benefit is easy manageability. Since consolidation of since the on-prem connectivity gets consolidated, the time to configure this on-prem connectivity to AWS is reduced significantly. Also, you can get metrics and logs through CloudWatch, VPC flow logs, and CloudTrail. And also, the Transit Gateway Network Manager provides a consistent interface to monitor performance data for networks built around Transit Gateway. So these are some of the key benefits of using AWS Transit Gateway. Next, Rodrigo is going to discuss some of the common use cases, introduce Transit Gateway Network Manager, and also discuss some of the key best practices for using Transit Gateway.
Thank you, Nitin, and welcome everyone to the AWS Community Day. This is Rodrigo Balan. I'm a technical account manager here at AWS. So now we're going to discuss common use cases for Transit Gateway and discuss briefly one by one. So first one is interconnecting geographically dispersed on-premise and VPC resources. AWS Transit Gateway is a strategy for connecting multiple geographically dispersed VPCs and remote networks in order to create a global network transit center. A transit gateway simplifies network management and minimizes the number of connections required to connect multiple VPCs and remote networks. Transit Gateway is a regional resource and can connect thousands of VPCs within the same AWS region. With a Transit Gateway, multiple accounts can share a NAT gateway, Active Directory, IDS, etc., to reduce the total resource count and therefore the costs. Essentially, Transit Gateway gives you a way to simplify network architecture, reduce operational overhead, and centrally manage external connectivity. Next one, let's talk about edge consolidation. So you can connect your existing VPCs, data centers, remote offices, and remote gateways to a managed transit gateway with full control over networking routing and security. Even if your VPCs, Active Directory, shared service, and other resources span multiple AWS accounts. You can simplify your overall networking architecture, reduce operational overhead, and gain the ability to centrally manage crucial aspects of your external connectivity, including security. Last but not least, you can use Transit Gateway to consolidate your existing edge connectivity and route it through a single ingress point. So one of the key takeaways of this edge consolidation use case, it's all about simplification, consolidation, and connectivity. Next use case, so digital security and threat intelligence. As you know, it can become a complex task to meet your business requirements with a secure outbound internet architecture using third-party firewalls that is able to perform inline deep packet inspection in AWS. To perform inline deep packet inspection, customers usually use third-party firewall solutions in their AWS environments. These secure solutions can be hosted in every VPC and account. However, this type of design does not scale well, becomes difficult to manage, and can become costly. So centralizing your security solutions in a VPC and using intra-VPC connectivity helps you solve these challenges. Simple reference architecture. It is important for you to understand how all of the pieces work together. And then there's a great reference for you to start organizing your environment in order to migrate into a AWS Transit Gateway architecture from scratch or migrating from a Transit VPC. So in a typical enterprise environment, customers have VPCs across multiple accounts within an AWS region to segment workloads. As you can see, we have the development, test, production environment. The segmentation can be different in different forms and depends on the company structure, secure policy, and business functions and models. The drivers of the segmentation can vary. For example, segmentation could be driven by security and regulatory requirements, costs, or even technology. It is important to review and understand common architecture patterns for designing workloads with many AWS virtual private clouds, VPCs. Segmentation security, scalability, cross-region connectivity, and flexibility becoming more important as you scale on AWS. Let's briefly of the options are here on this slide. So extensible for many VPCs if needed. So you have development, testing, production, shared services, inline services, outbound and edge services, all connected to the transit gateway. So work with a flat or isolated segmentation. You have your what they call routing tables, and when you create routing domains, you can segregate those, isolate those communications in a way for you to follow your company structure or your security policy. Example of applications that would fit on this reference architecture, we are talking about authentication, logs, logging, DevOps tools, and secure resource. Where you can see here, we have on the bottom right, inline services, where you can inspect your traffic, your inbound traffic, or your outbound traffic before it leaves your environment. On the left-hand side, you have on your outbound VPC, where you can apply URL filtering, NAT gateway, and DLP proxy. All of these consolidated in a single VPC. You can also consolidate your ingress services, where you can apply some specialized WAF services that only is applicable for your environment. And also you have a way for you to implement your SD-WAN. That's a great way for you to visualize and how all of the pieces work together, and then how you can leverage Transit Gateway in a multi-VPC type of environment. Transit Gateway Network Manager. Monitor. Let's talk a little bit about monitoring and then how it fits your environment. As you can see, just a really good example here on the right side, how you can see in a graphical way all of your resources and the status of this resource. So you have your peerings and all of distribute geographically. It's good for you. It's much easier for you to understand what's going on in real time. So you can use CloudWatch metrics and events to monitor your networks and respond to connectivity issues. Network Manager provides you with event notification from a single interface so that you can get a global view what is happening on your network. You can identify and troubleshoot network problems faster. Then you receive the information from different tools. So global view, which is a really good important thing to highlight here. You can see network activity in many locations from a single dashboard. As you can see here on the right side, you can compare activity, identify inconsistencies between on-premise location and the AWS cloud, or issues that affect several locations differently. Another great resource that comes with the Network Manager is the Route Analyzer. Just to highlight the good points of it, so it verifies that the transit route table configuration will work. It's expected before you start sending traffic. It's a really great way for you to validate and then avoid any disruption to the network. It also validates your existing route configuration and diagnose route-related issues that are causing traffic disruption in our global network. Best practices. Let's discuss what we recommend as best practices if you are a company that is starting from scratch, moving to Transit Gateway, or if you are migrating from a Transit VPC. So I highly recommend for you to dive deep into the best practices and understand each one of them to make your life much easier when it comes for you to implement or migrate to Transit Gateway. So let's go. So we do have a tool which is called TGW Migrator tool, which provide you a seamless migration path from Transit VPC to Transit Gateway. Highly encourage you to look at this tool if you are in that position to migrate. It can facilitate and automate many tasks that is part of the migration process. Some of the prerequisites you should keep in mind before moving to Transit Gateway is that VPCs cannot have overlapping CIDRs. Even though there is a prerequisite, at the end of the presentation, we're going to provide a blog post that's going to show you a way for you to overcome the rules. So please keep in mind that we're going to provide that at the end. So second one, you cannot have identical routing points to different VPCs. And third, verify that you have permission required to work with Transit Gateway. That's a really important one, especially when it comes for you to do automation. It's really important for you to understand your capabilities before applying that to your production environment. Best practices, part one. Be mindful of the AWS Transit Gateway limits. So I highly encourage you to look at the documentation and understand the limits before even starting your project. Understand the limits, it helps you and guides you through the process, the design process and an implementation process. So routing information can be dynamically propagated into Transit Gateway from AWS Direct Connect and site-to-site VPN. Failure detection and rerouting of traffic is handled by BGP. Enable BGP multipath and traffic load sharing in a customer gateway is an important thing for you to consider. Third-party firewalls generally support up to 4 equal cost routes to the same destination, allowing firewall to load balanced flows and dynamically shift traffic to another ICMP member to the same destination if a link fails. ICMP is a transit gate uses the 5-tuple hash, protocol number, source IP, destination IP, source port, and destination port number to make it packets take one of the path or VPN tunnel. Similarly, customer must configure customer gateway to leverage ICMP, thereby performing the hash to forward packets equally over multiple paths. Part two, we highly recommend for you to use a separate subnet /28, create a connectivity subnet in our VPCs to define that as a transit gateway attachment. What are the benefits? You can make changes, let's say routing tables, NACLs to your subnets without worrying about it affecting the attachment. It likely wouldn't be the most of the case, but why would take the risk with the network and then risk their entire network infrastructure relies on? But please be mindful about this best practices. And then one important thing I'd like to highlight here. So each transit gateway should have a unique AS number if you want to connect between transit gateway in another region. Use separate AS numbers for each transit gateway across region, as they are becoming support for dynamic routing propagation across transit gateway peering. We will use eBGP. For further reading, so here we put together all of the reading we recommend for you guys to go through before migrating or starting the AWS Transit Gateway from scratch. Highly recommend to read each one of them to fully understand its capabilities and limitations, and understanding how you're going to best leverage the tool, also using the reference architecture as a starting point. So I appreciate your time you spend with us, and then have a good AWS community day. Thank you very much, everyone.